So introduction computing. Man in a middle attack. So what is a man in a middle attack? A man in a middle attack is a type of eavesdropping attack where attackers interrupt an existing conversation or data transfer. After inserting themselves in the middle of transfer, the attackers pretend to be both legitimate participants. This enables an attacker to intercept information and data from either party while also sending malicious links or other information to both legitimate participants in a way that may not be detected until it's too late. You can think of this type of attack as similar to the game of telephone, where one person's words are carried along from participant to participant until it is changed by the time it reaches the final person. In a man in the middle attack, the middle participant manipulates the conversation unknown either to legitimate participant acting to retrieve confidential information and otherwise causes damage. So common abbreviation for a man in a middle attack including MITM, MITM, MIM, and MIM. The real-world MITM attacks in 2012, Dutch registrar site DigiNotar was breached, which enabled the threat actor to gain access to 500 certificates for websites like Google, Skype, and others. Access this certificate allowed attackers to pose as legitimate websites in MITM attack, stealing users the data after tricking them into entering passwords. And malicious near sites, DigiNotar ultimately filed for bankruptcy and result of the branch. In 2012, credit scoring company Equifax removed its apps from Google and Apple after a branch resulted in a leak of personal data. A researcher found the app did not constantly use HTTPS, allowing attackers to interrupt data user. So, from this, it also not new to us because a lot of people or many people can attack us or through we can hack other account to other person. So every man in the middle of or like ang pag-aatakin ng isang tao sa isang termino para sa kapag ang isang saliri ay pumesto sa kanyang sarili sa isang pag-uusap sa pagkitna ng isang gumagamit at isang application para mag-eavesdrop o magpanggap bilang isa sa mga partido o ginawa itong parang isang normal na pagpapilitan impormasyon ay sinisagawa. So in this there are three people can attack other person. Like for example, through Wi-Fi, we can hack through this through another attackers. So they pretend to be both legitimate participants. So the attacker nag-intercept information data which is nag-send of link information to be participant of what they doing of the attackers. So para sa ato dili na kay siya bag-o kay mostly of people now daghan na kay nang hack sa atoang mga account sa atong na money like through ATM like that. So sa ato pong the way we use Facebook account, TikTok, Instagram, etc. There we can also experience in hackers like that.
The 7 types of man-in-the-middle attack. Cybercriminals can use MITM attacks to gain control of devices in a variety of ways. First, IP spoofing. Every device capable of connecting to the internet has an internet protocol or IP address, which is similar to the street address for your home by spoofing an IP address. is an attacker can trick you into thinking you're interacting with a website or someone you're not, perhaps giving the attacker access to information you'd otherwise not share. Second, DNS spoofing, domain name server or DNS spoofing, is a technique that forces a user to a fake website rather than the real one the user intends to visit. If you are victim of DNS spoofing, you may think you're visiting a safe, trusted website when you're actually interacting with a fraudster. The perpetrator's goal is to divert traffic from the real site or capture user login credentials. Third, HTTPS spoofing. When doing business on the internet, seeing HTTPS in the URL rather than HTTP in a sign that the website is secure and can be trusted. In fact, the S stands for secure. An attacker can your browser into believing it's visiting. It's a trusted website when it's not. By redirecting your browser to an unsecure website, the attacker can monitor your interactions with that website and possibly steal personal information you're sharing.
5. Email hijacking. Cybercriminals sometimes target email accounts of banks and other financial institutions. Once they gain access, they can monitor transactions between the institution and its customers. The attackers can spoof the bank's email address and send their own instructions to customers. This convinces the customer to follow the attacker's instructions rather than the bank's. As a result, an unwitting customer may end up putting money. 6. Wi-Fi eavesdropping. Cybercriminals can set up Wi-Fi connections with very legitimate sounding names, similar to a nervy business. Once a user connects to a fraudster Wi-Fi, the attacker will be able to monitor the user's online activity and be able to intercept login credentials, payment card information, and more. This is just one of several risks associated with using public Wi-Fi. You can learn more about such risks here. 7. Stealing browser cookies. To understand the risk of stolen browser cookies, you need to understand what one is. A browser cookie is a small piece of information a website stores on your computer.
One way to reduce the harm caused by session hijacking and other attacks is to embrace a secure software development life cycle. Techniques such as static code analysis and manual penetration testing can detect security flaws in applications before they can be exploited. Picker Code's cloud-based platform is designed to help developers learn secure coding best practice. Contact us today to schedule a demo and check out our services. Man-in-the-middle attack prevention strategies. Use VPN, access only HTTPS websites. Watch out for phishing scam. Use strong router credentials. Update your software. Adopt the zero trust model. Prevent cookie stealing.